Hey y'all, my name is Noel Salas. This here is a 1997 Kawasaki Ninja 600C. It's a zx6r. Well, I was on my way to work one day and I noticed a knocking noise. Well, that knocking noise happened to be my piston, which you can see that huge ass hole right there, which it came out of my crankcase. So now I have to buy me a new motor or a new crankcase, but either way I'm gonna have to replace the motor regardless, because there's no telling what else is wrong in this motor. So what I'm gonna do is I just took off my fairings and everything. As you can tell, I got my gas tank sideways and everything else. I don't know how these things work. This is my first time working on a motor. That's why I'm recording this right now. So I'm going to pull this motor. Well, I'm going to attempt to pull this motor out. But to do that, I got to remove my radiator, so I can get access to my exhaust pipes. Well, on the discovery of removing my radiator one time, I found a stud. As you can tell, I'm gonna point it out right here. It was stripped on one of my exhausts. So sorry about that. So that's missing a nut on it. So I gotta replace that stud. I don't know if you're able. Let me see if I can get the light on. Where's my light? Shit. Well, I don't know where the frick is the light at. But anyways, I'm pretty sure you can see it's right in there. And there goes the focus. Alright. So, and as you can tell, you can see where that hole is at. Again, kind of blurry right there, but there goes my focus. Alright. Well, this is my first time, like I said, doing this. I'm actually gonna have to rebuild this motor piece by piece. Maybe I have to look at my new crankcase after I get this motor out. See what caused my piston to shoot out through my crankcase, which I have that piece, which is right here, and by the looks of it, you can see this is the actual piston rod that holds it, that actually holds the piston. And from the looks of it, this screw was stripped. So that's what caused my piston to get loose and start knocking on my crankcase. And this is what shot out through my crankcase. As you can tell, this screw here is bent. I don't know, there you go. See, it's bent. So this here shot out through my whole motor on the bottom as I was on my way to work on the freeway. So yeah, I got stuck on the freeway. So I had to wait for a break in the freeway so I could run across with my bike to get it to the other side, to get out from the meteor of the freeway, because I was against the wall. So I got it out. As you can tell, I got it here parked at home. So basically I need a new piston too, and a piston rod. I worked on the carburetor before. I mean, I pulled it out. Some people say it's a pain in the ass to work with these kind of bikes because it's so compact, and like especially with the carburetor and getting the little, I guess, cups that go to your carburetor, as you can see right there, was a pain in the ass. So it was my first time doing it. I asked a mechanic that actually worked at a bike shop if it was a pain in the ass. He said yes, it was, but I came to find out it's not really a pain in the ass. You just gotta have patience and be able to work with it. There's a little twists and turns you gotta do to get it in, but I mean, it's pretty much common sense, and it's pretty easy. Actually, I found it pretty easy to do. Now, I have removed my valve cover once. As you can tell, there's some extra sealer on it. Sorry, it's my first time doing a video. And to find out where the noise was coming from. So I never found out. It never came from there until the day, like I said, I was on my way to work. It lost power when I was on the freeway, and then next thing I know, I saw like a little bit of cloud of smoke. So I pulled over as soon as I can, and when I did, I looked under and I saw a whole bunch of oil leaking. Well, my first thought was, I thought I lost a screw to my oil pan. That's why it leaked out so much oil. So as I further down the motor and discovered a big ass chunk of hole that was missing from my crankcase, it might have went all, yeah, it went all the way up to my crankcase. It took the whole top, almost the whole top piece of my crankcase out, which that kind of sucks, because it's kind of hard to find motors that go for this year a bike, and they're pretty expensive. But actually I found one on eBay that was actually pretty cheap. From what it says the motor runs good and everything, the gears are good. So I'm gonna buy that and put that motor in here. And then with this motor here, what I'm gonna have to do is replace, like I said, the piston and the piston rod. So I may just end up buying all pistons for it, just to be on the safe side, and make sure and get it. Oh, and I also need a new crankcase. So yeah, I'm gonna need a new bottom half of my crankcase. Gee, I don't know what else to do. Like I said, it's my first time working on the bike. But when I do get it off, I'll make another video. But right now, I'm trying to decide what I gotta disconnect to get this motor off. I know for one, I gotta disconnect my my carburetor. I gotta take it off. Two, it looks like my ground wire to my battery, and then another wire that runs to my motor, which I gotta take the cover off. And I think on the other side it's the same thing, which is another wire. Yeah, it's another wire. It's quite a bit I gotta take off. Also, oh, one other thing, I also gotta take off my chain too, because that's, of course, it's with the motor. And I guess that's, oh yeah, my water hoses, I gotta take them off. It's gonna be quite a challenge for me to do this. Like I said, it's my first time. Hey, that's one way to learn, is to do it yourself, right? So I guess by me trying to work on this motor and knowing what to fix, or how can I say, what goes on with the engine. So more likely I'll know next time if something ever happens like that, I know what it is. So I'll know to put my bike up, park it, pull the motor out, and replace that part. Because of course it'll be a piston if it's a knocking noise, and if it's anything else like a little tapping noise or anything, that majority of it is going to be your timing chain tensioner your tensioner that runs on the back of these motors. Some of them just have screws in them, which they say is a pain in the ass, but I don't know, I never worked with that. I put my Tommy chain tensioner out before. I mean, it's still good, so I put it back in and there was no problem. But the other thing is I had to take off my my coolant pipe off to my motor to get to it, to get to one of the screws. But other than that, I don't know if you'll be able to see. Yeah, you can see it. You see that little nipple type of thing that's sticking out? That's the Tommy chain tensioner. So yeah, you see this right here is what I had to pull out. So yeah, I did that and put it back in. I checked that because I thought that was making the noise. Say they said on YouTube that usually demo would start making the noise, the Tommy chain would start, you know, catching a little bit of slack, because usually it has a spring in there that it'll wind up and turn like sideways, and that will cause the Tommy chain to get loose. But I did that and it wasn't that. So I mean, the knocking noise was still going on, but I didn't know what it was at the time, because it's, like I said, it's my first time working on a bike. This is my first bike, so I'm learning a lot here. There's a few things I had to rig up, like that right there, which I'm still trying to figure out what this goes to, this little nipple, because I don't have an owner's manual service book. So I'm just going off of YouTube and a little bit of knowledge that I got of bikes, which it ain't much. But yeah, I had to replace some spark kits and stuff like that before, just once. I did the tires too. I replaced the tires. I put them on myself. It's not really that hard. It's pretty easy once you get the hang of it. But what I am going to do on my next project is I'm going to take out this air box and put some AirPods in here, just for the fact I may end up cutting my, I don't know, I was thinking about cutting my exhaust or shortening them, so that way my bike can be just a tad louder. So yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna do about that, which I think I may know how. I can take these rivets off here. See these little rivets right here? I can probably take them off. Oh wait, never mind, they're screws. Some Harley Davidsons pass by. I get that a lot here. Live here in Kyle, so they always pass through by. But yeah, these are like screws. So I mean, I can probably, it's like a little star shape with a little nipple in the middle. So I want to kind of cut my tailpipe out, at least right here, and move this piece, this inner piece, in to have a little effect. But that may have to come back to this right here, is adjusting the airflow, the fuel, and I can't remember what else. But anyways, you get what I'm saying. Yeah, so because cars tend not to pay attention when you're on a bike. They try to cut in front of you, so the louder your bike is, the more noise your bike can make, and that'll make them like look back or look sideways to find out where exactly you're at. Because I had cars that had cut me off before, and I had to just slow down and step on my brakes. But yeah, so like I said, I'll get back to y'all when I get this motor out and my crankcase off. Peace.